Esa queda de 9 días buscando a señora Nancy Guthrie. De um vídeo novo de Savannah Guthrie, da indica que a família quer que a senhora Nancy está viva ainda e está roga público para ajudar de búsqueda de mama. Tecnologia avançada lo que está ajudando a autoridadnan local de búsqueda de Nancy Guthrie.
The Guthrie case is a two-way battle in the technology sphere. The purported kidnappers are tech-savvy too, something the Pima County Sheriff acknowledges.
What are they doing? Covering their plates, removing the camera, whatever it is, they know. And so it is a cat and mouse thing.
Officials say early on, Nancy Guthrie's doorbell camera was disconnected and removed. Motion was detected on the camera's software, but no video was available, apparently because Nancy Guthrie didn't have the required subscription. If the video isn't retrievable, one expert says, one tool that could provide clues is touch DNA technology, which could be used in the area near the doorbell camera.
You're leaving behind dead skin cells. And in that context, we're going to have access to a partial DNA profile, and they can actually create that and kind of amplify that to get an idea as to whose DNA this is.
Forensic expert Joseph Scott Morgan says authorities are also likely analyzing any data they can find from the connection between Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker and her cell phone or other technology, a connection that was severed in the early morning hours before her disappearance was reported. Other ways officials are casting a technological net?
We're downloading and analyzing cell phones, obtaining cell tower information.
Surveillance footage is also crucial, experts say, to try to put together a video trail of the possible captors.
I think the bread and butter here are going to be ring cam, CCTV, anything that they can, kind of pull in. And they will have gone to, I would imagine, just about every residence up and down that street, and also places like churches, convenience stores, maybe a dry cleaner, anywhere where a car would have passed through that area.
Technology could also help investigators track the captors through their reported demand for millions of dollars in Bitcoin. Experts say that while you cannot immediately see who Bitcoin is being sent from or to, the movement of funds on the Bitcoin network is still traceable. That trail becomes especially clear once criminals receive the payment and try to cash out by moving the Bitcoin through a cryptocurrency exchange.
That is where ultimately law enforcement can send legal process or worked with a compliance team and an exchange to block those funds and ultimately seize them back. It's also the place where you can get the most valuable information about the user behind that cryptocurrency address.
E a escassez de combustível na Cuba está cada vez mais evidente. Houve barrios sem corrente por dia, menos veículos riba caia e cancelação de vuelo. Pressão internacional de mercado limita acesso na produto petrolero, aumentando incertidumbre riba com a situação lo que da sostenível. Patrick Opan de CNN con informe.
Los cargamentos de petróleo no están llegando a Cuba en este momento y se notan cada día más los impactos. Hay menos carros en la calle, hay menos actividades. El gobierno cubano está recortando las actividades en universidades, actividades culturales, y también están llegando menos vuelos internacionales porque varias aerolíneas han dicho que ya no hay combustible aquí para recargar sus aviones para poder volver a sus países. Entonces eso quiere decir que habrá mucho menos turismo en las próximas semanas, que va a tener un impacto muy grande a la economía cubana. La administración de Donald Trump está poniendo mucha presión a países como México, que antes mandaba mucho petróleo a Cuba. Ahora están mandando ayuda humanitaria, toneladas y toneladas de comida, pero en este momento la administración de Donald Trump no está dejando países como Venezuela, como México, mandar lo que Cuba más necesita, el petróleo que necesita la economía cubana. Se sabe que los Estados Unidos y Cuba están conversando, que están intercambiando mensajes, pero lo que ha exigido la administración de Trump es que haya un cambio de gobierno, que dejan los exiliados cubanos volver a Cuba, recuperar sus propiedades que perdieron después de la revolución, y que hay un cambio de gobierno aquí, y eso es algo que el gobierno cubano ha resistido hace muchos años. Patrick Mencene, La Habana.